Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the Golden Age, the third and the fourth Doctors. And this is The Monster of Peladon from 1974. Previously, we'd had Death to the Daleks, and the next one will be Planet of the Spiders. Now, Planet of the Spiders, of course, is the end of the third Doctor. Oh dear. Yes. So that's the next story, and it's a great story as well. So this is the 11th season, and it's the fourth story. And it's in 6 parts. It was transmitted the 23rd of March to the 27th of April, 1974. It's written by Brian Hales, who previously had written Celestial Toy Maker, 1966, The Smugglers, 1966, The Ice Warriors, 1967, and The Seeds of Death, 1969. He was, in fact, the creator of The Ice Warriors. And, of course, The Curse of Peladon, which was the 1972 story before this. Yes, so this is a continuation of Peladon. Yeah. So it's directed by Lenny Main, who directed The Curse of Peladon, of course, 1972, The Three Doctors, 1973, and The Hand of Fear, 1976. So he directed 4 Doctor Who stories. The script editor, of course, is the wonderful Terence Dix, and it's produced by Barry Letts. So let's go through the cast. We've got John Pertwee playing the third Doctor. We've got Elizabeth Sladen playing Sarah Jane Smith. We've got Nina Thomas playing Queen Thalaria. She was as an actress in lots of TV series and TV films. Then we've got Frank Gatliff, who plays Chancellor Orton. He was in the Ypres File, 1965. Operation Daybreak, 1975. The Four Feathers, 1979. Deja Vu, 1985. And Nemesis, 1987. Interesting lot of films there. Then we've got Rex Robinson, who plays Giebeck. He was in The Three Doctors, 1973. He was in The Hands of Fear, 1976. In terms of films, he was in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, 1987, which is not considered the best of the Superman films. But he's in, again, quite a few TV series and TV films. Then we have got Ralph Watson, who plays Etis. Was in The Underwater Menace, 1967. The Web of Fear, 1968. Horror of Fang Rock, 1977. And again, you look, and there's so many TV series and TV films. Now, Yassine Churchman did the voice of Alpha Centauri. And she is actually well known as Grace Archer in the long-running radio series The Archers. Yes, so she's a voice actress. Yeah, but here she is, playing Alpha Centauri. Such a memorable character, as we know. Yes, definitely a memorable character. The design, you've got to admit, the design of Alpha Centauri is good, and it's one of those where we actually don't know. There's no sex. We don't know. It's got no sex. So there we are. Neither male nor female. Yeah, there we are. I suppose it's just part of the sort of alien character that this represents. It's fascinating, isn't it, really? Though not everybody, a lot of people, you can also hear at the time perhaps having a bit of a laugh about this character. But I think it's interesting. Now, the story, of course, is recorded in the studio, so it's a studio-bound story. There's no locations at all. They didn't go on location. So, what is this story about? Well, I say it's set 50 years from the previous story on Peladon, which is a mineral-rich planet. And as I say, the Doctor and Sarah arrive, and they find now that there's a queen ruling the planet. And what is quite clear, there's a situation here going on. And of course, as usual in these situations, it's all to do with minerals and control. And we see the engineer Eckersley and the rogue Ice Warrior commander Agzakshar. They're conspiring, basically, to take over the planet. That's it. It's quite clear what they're doing. And by doing this, they hope to sell its minerals to Peladon's enemies. Very nice of them. In Galaxy 5. So the Ice Warriors here are villains. We've always seen them as villains, but in the other story, they were supposedly a bit more neutral and were not supposedly villains as we remember them, but that was an aberration. We know they're villains, really. You've got to have a villain in an Ice Warrior. So this 6-part story is very good. I think it's very good. Is it as memorable? Yeah, I think there is. I think the fact Alpha Centauri makes it memorable. 6 episodes, is it too long? Possibly. Maybe it is, but they needed those 6 episodes, as usual, to planning out the length of these seasons. I think the writing's good. I think the acting, they do a good job with what they've got, and that is good. It's very believable, credible, and the story is, as usual, as I say, seeing people, races fighting over control for minerals. You know, it's an old thing. It happens everywhere, doesn't it? But it works well on this. And the Ice Warriors have to be baddies, definitely. And here we are. They're baddies now. Brilliant. Absolutely love it for that. And also, I think I must give a mention to the monster, really. You know, but he's not really a monster, but he is a monster, if you see what I mean. He's Agador, who is this sort of creature that pops up, and the miners get scared, and it's all used for disruption. You have got this other story, of course, about the miners and their rights and loyalties um, to this young queen. The queen is quite a good aspect to the story because she's sort of learning how to be a queen, if you want to put it like that. And Sarah's great because she's there and saying that, hey, women's rights, you're a woman, be assertive and don't put up with all these men telling you what to do. Sarah Jane's so good. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant in this role. So I think this story, I really enjoyed it. Is it the greatest? No, of course it's not the greatest Doctor Who story, but it's a good John Pertwee story, I think. Again, John Pertwee gets quite usual bit of him with his action, John Pertwee, and he's always a great figure to watch. And some people would probably say, well, it's not quite the same depth of relationship as he had with Joe. Maybe not, but I think there's still quite a good relationship there. I think that does show, and that's a testament to Elizabeth Sladen's acting and John Pertwee. I think they do show a good chemistry together. I think that's good. And of course, there's only one more story left now, and that's it. So it's hard to believe, but it's gone by so quickly, this final season for John Pertwee. So overall, I do love this story because it's different. I think it's got a different, even though it's revisiting a similar story. It is a good, but I think one thing we've learned is that John Pertwee is always good value as the Doctor. And even if sometimes the scripts are not quite up to it, he can elevate them. And I think that's a sign of a good actor, which John Pertwee was. So this was released on VHS in 1995, and DVD release was in 2010 in the box set Peladon Tales, so they stuck them together. Obviously, there's no Blu-ray release yet until we get the John Pertwee's final season, but that will happen. It will happen. So before I go, I'd just like to show you, like I do, these wonderful DVDs. There's the club there. And there's that. And the extras. We've got a nice, good documentary on here. And the back, Terrance Dicks is really good. The good sort of tribute to Terrance Dicks as a writer. And a documentary to say, 2 discs. Beautiful discs, aren't they? Look at those discs. Absolutely wonderful. Show you that one. Look at that. It's great. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, we have got there. I always mention it, but I like it. This little insert just gives a few sort of bits of information about the story and what have you. Always nice to have that there. This insert, yeah, brilliant. So that's it. Yes. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We'll let you know when I put out these videos. And also, if you like this one, please give it a like. If you give it a like, it gets it out onto YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy it. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. I'll always answer them. And that's it. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.